What's a secret you'll never tell your partner but are willing to tell strangers on Reddit?
When I was 14, my grandma passed away. For years, I had been bothering my parents for my own gold necklace. Well, Gram had a little bit of money, and she gave me the $300 for a gold necklace in her will. It was my pride and joy. I had it around my neck for 17 years before I met my wife. It was off my neck maybe 3 times in those 17 years. My wife, then girlfriend, knew how much it meant to me and asked to wear it once. Well, it never came home. She had lost it somewhere, or it had gotten stolen. I was distraught like crazy for 3 or 4 days while we turned our house upside down looking for it. Inevitably, I gave up, but she was very bothered by it all. So, I decided to go to a pawn shop and buy the closest I could get to an exact duplicate, and then I told her that I had found the necklace in the couch cushions. To this day, she thinks that I found my necklace from my grandmother, but this is actually version 2.
Whenever she's not home, I let the dog onto the bed and take a really comfy nap. I set an alarm for an hour and kick the dog off and clean the fur off before she ever gets home. I've been doing this for nearly 3 years now.
My partner doesn't know how bad my mental health really is. She knows I've reached out for support, but doesn't know the extent of help I'm seeking. I just can't bring myself to say those words to her.
That I am the one placing the googly eyes on everything in our house, not our 6-year-old.
I will listen to a song 10 times in a row because I need to listen to all the instruments and melodies separately before moving on to the next song.
That my wife always screams. She just doesn't seem to be able to talk at a normal level. Feel like she should be selling fish at a marketplace. Love her though.
My husband loves talkative cats. When we first got our kittens, I gave them a treat every time they made a meow or chirp. Since I was working from home, they ended up becoming very vocal. He still goes on about how lucky we are to have such talkative cats on a weekly basis.
My wife shit while delivering our son. Something she was terrified she would do. The nurse cleaned up very quickly and gave me a look that needed no explanation. I never said a word. She talked after delivery about how happy she was that didn't happen to her. I'll let her keep that peace of mind for life.
Sometimes I just sit in my car outside work or our apartment for 20 to 30 minutes because I need some time alone. I have my mind full to the brim at work and rarely get time in the house alone. Sometimes I just need it to be quiet and not have to pay attention to anything.
It was an accident we met. I thought I was agreeing to see his friend, who was the other guy in the picture.
That I wish she would find a career or pursue a degree so I don't have to work 1,000 plus hours of OT a year so she can sit at home.
The reason I wasn't hungry that one day in Dublin was because when I stayed behind to get ready while she waited in the lobby, I ate the entire box of leftover chicken wings that we took home from the restaurant the day before. I ate 15 cold, oily chicken wings in about 5 minutes at 9 a.m. before heading out for breakfast.
When I play video games and my wife isn't here, I narrate what I do and respond to fake questions from a non-existent chat like I'm some kind of big shot streamer. I even look at a fake camera when something happened, lol.
Our cat didn't break the towel rack. I did. I was pretending to be fighting zombies and grabbed it and ripped the goddamn thing off the wall. I heard her coming to check out the noise and looked down at my cat. She came into the bathroom to me asking my cat, "Why did you think the towel rack could hold your weight? You silly cat."
Last night, you made fried rice with shrimp. I ate the whole bowl even though it tasted nasty. God, it was awful.
My wife hates her dad more than anything. We haven't talked to him much after he refused to come to our wedding 2 years ago since he thinks she could do better than me. She is like him in so many ways, I would never have the heart to tell her.
I've broken your personalized cup your sister got you 3 times. I recreated the design on paint and got some screen printing stall at the mall to print it on the cup. Each time it looks a little bit different, face with tears of joy.
Every time we're playing Yahtzee and she asks, "Do I have one more roll or was that 3?" I always say one more regardless of the truth.
When I asked her dad for his blessing, I had some liquid courage first, and I can't remember what his response was. Let's hope it was yes, because we've been married for over 2 years.
That time I asked you if I could have the last cookie, I implied there was only one left when there was actually 2. I wanted both of them and didn't want to share. They were delicious and I have no regrets.
My nieces don't like the aquarium. I just constantly took them there because I thought my now girlfriend, who works there, was pretty and thought if she saw me constantly taking them it'd lead to us talking.
That's as much as I love him, with all my heart and soul. Even after a decade of being together, his relentless negativity and pessimism does my head in sometimes.
I dropped the diaper rash cream container on our daughter's head when she was like 8 days old. She let out this scream that still haunts me. When he came in the room to see what happened, I lied and said I just dropped the lid on her.
My husband complains about being in pain so much that I feel like there's no room for me to be in pain. And sometimes I really resent that. I have a chronic health condition that I have no choice but to manage well because he wouldn't know what to do if he had to care for me like I have to care for him. Sucks, but it is what it is. ETA, sorry to hear this is so common. My partner is otherwise lovely and I've told him before, no need to beat a dead horse. To me it's a small part of a big and full relationship, so it's just something I live with.
I have ridiculously complex and drawn-out arguments with myself when no one's around. One of the me's is pretty cool, the other one's kind of a dick. Edit, just to add, I'm not sure which one is the real me.
What I actually paid for my woodworking tools edit, obligatory RIP inbox. As a few have pointed out, this absolutely applies to pretty much any hobby. And I'll put it here since so many are asking, but I don't actually keep track of how much I've spent over the years, but just the big expensive ones I remember I'm over 5K already. Then all the smaller tools, chisels, hand planes, and ultimately I should include the cost of running a 220V single-phase outlet for my jointer and, more than I really want to admit to myself. But the joy and sense of accomplishment I get on the completed pieces are worth every penny spent. It really is my happy place.
That I resent her for forgetting my birthday 2 years in a row.
It's been 4 years and I'm still super annoyed that he can't remember that one dream he had one night that caused him to laugh his ass off in his sleep. I want to know the funny, crying face.
Then I know the word she's looking for, but it's more fun to hear her rattle off increasingly ridiculous, sometimes made-up words instead.
My wife's makeup looked terrible on our wedding day.